Hello, and welcome to another Rangaroo cast with me, Rangaroo. And today we are doing a 1v1 and once again a walk through the Valley of Death. Now on the bottom side, playing as a blue for Chimera, we got Optical X. And then the top side, playing in the red for... That's the... Wait, what the... Okay, they're both called HQs, because usually the United States thing is called like a field HQ. But nonetheless, up top in the red, playing as Cartel, we got Warrior Runes. As usual, let's just skip part in the early game. Warrior going for 1 oil or 1 aluminium. And the same thing for Optical. It's standard play. Getting a lot of crossers out. Began a crosser upgrade. So it's maybe a crosser rush. Usually getting a supply field kit, yeah, early on. The SFK. The K-Max is flying around. Scanning the base. That's the nice thing about the Cartel survey unit. It's a helicopter. It can easily scout the map within a couple of minutes. And Warrior Rune's already going for the right-hand bank. They're just some contractors. And he's already got a vehicle bay out, and he's bringing out the automatics. Roll Optical. Getting the SAS depleted uranium rounds. Probably a bit of an infantry strategy. He's already got some sentinel turrets up. And he's got himself a spear vehicle bay. Oh, what the hell is going on over here? I heard an explosion of some kind. Maybe it's a car getting one over, I don't know. Spear vehicle being brought out. And here comes already 4 automatics. It's early on. I don't think this is going to be too good for Mr. Optical. I mean, does he have SAS up yet? Because the SAS will probably be the best bet. He's already got run in his district. And automatics, believe it or not, aren't that great against infantry. So I think the SAS would be fine. And here they come. They probably want to focus on trying to get the crushers. Get those harvesters down. And he's already got himself a support vehicle bay. He got himself a ninja very early on. Don't see really support bays being brought a lot for Chimera. Unless you're going for like a Namer exoskeleton type thing. But the ninja is a very nice helicopter. A very nice recon helicopter that's completely stealthed up. And the Autos has taken down the crossers. Crossers can fight back, but only just a wee bit. And what can Optical really do about this? I mean, you got some Pumas being brought up, but they're going to be brought up run by run. Lambs for the slaughter. And I'd say if this wasn't 26 minutes long, I'd already say Warrior Runes would win the match. I mean, he's putting on a lot of pressure on Optical. And he's just getting more Vipers to capture left-hand side. And again, a sub behind. He's already got run out, so he'll be getting himself a second run. He's got the Pumas fighting back. Just scouting back and forth. But he can't get any oil into his base because the automatics are camping it. It does take down another auto. So he's... Oh, he does have another oil field up here, and he does have the bank, so... But he still can't get any oil from here up into here. And here comes the third one, and this should just be enough for Optical to fend off the autos. And that was a very smart thing he did. He didn't just charge in the Pumas run by run to kill them. No, he pulled him back here, left him around when another one would get pulled out. He'd move the run back here, over here, to cover him as they can retreat. And then once he got a nice sort of force of him, he yen attacked the autos. Very good micro air from Optical's part. I easily could have ran a lot worse in another player's hand. But right now, Mr. Rory has definitely got an advantage. Already expanded onto the right hand side. You've got both banks almost under his control. Whereas, Optical got his one, of course. But we've got a lot of infantry being ready to rush in there. We have an awfully big submachine gun. Got some sub behinds and the autos over here. And we're putting on the pressure. So we've got these ninjas here. And these ninjas really should try and take down the Hind. They do have AA missiles, I believe. Yes, they do. This would be his best bet to take them out. Got more autos being brought up from Roria. He's already taking a bit of fire from this ninja. And this is a great thing about Chimera. This ninja's stealth, they can't see it. So anytime a harvester gets brought up, he can just shoot it and then go invisible. And he also gets the ambusher bonus, doing a little bit more damage. Yeah, these ninjas are actually a pretty good idea because he can just harass these harvesters easy peasy like. And I see here comes the ninjas. They have very long range of those, I don't know what missile they use. To shoot down both flanks. Now a nice little monuments on the mountainside. Kind of like Mount Rushmore, but for Russian attack helicopters. More infantry being brought up along the left. They're still trying hard to capture his left-hand bank. But these felons are holding in strong. Felons, I believe. Yeah, felons. Ninjas just flying around, putting on the pressure. Yoto's definitely going to make it quite hard as they are fairly good AA units. I'm going to speed this up as both sides just gather up the base. There's a heavy sort of sword vehicle being brought out. Got a bunch of contractors ready to move up, and I think it should be enough to clear out this building once and for all. A lot of these guys are low in HP. And here they come, the automatics giving some suppressive fire. Same with the jackals, completely sniping out the bank. That one lone feline falls back, but he does get chased down. Sentinel turret holding its ground, getting an anti-tank gun upgrade. And now Roria has both banks under his full control.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Got the Puma Force and the ninjas on the left hand side. And this is a pretty defensive gameplay right now from both sides. No real major pushes, just small skirmishes. And here comes the Terminators. And this is going to be quite hard for Mr. Warrior to deal with, because Terminators are seat-up automatics. They will. It's gonna be warriors who need some like dedicated anti-tank units to really deal with the Terminators. And he does have the research lab. It does have a research lab, so it's gonna get AT missiles most likely.
Stealth enemy unit
But he's getting
detected.
it has the AT missiles. And this is probably the best thing Optical can do, because if you can get that heavy tank out early while the opponent's still skirmishing around with light vehicles, you can really do quite a beating.
Stealth enemy unit
But
detected.
Warrior Rune's already got himself the prototype spade. Trying to remember his names. He's just getting the Optrix Engine 40mm autocannon upgrade for those heavy Spectra tanks. And we have the other Spectra in here, don't know. That's a Jackal giving off a little stealth field. Or stealth detection field, I mean. Artillery gun. Is that an artillery gun? Artillery turret? We've got stealth lab being brought up for upgrades. And then here comes the Spectras. And one lone Viper back here just watching the road. The road that literally leads to nowhere. So this is probably going to turn into a main battle tank fight rather soon. So both sides just gear up for war. I'm going to speed us up once again. Both sides taking their time. That is a railgun turret, actually.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Well, we have engagement over here. The automatics still with the feelings. And here you have a beautiful Spectra tank. Hard to see as it is camouflaged. And we only have a few Terminators from Optical right now. I want to see his how many minion. Yeah, he has a lot of how many minions. Rory Rune's spending a lot of his resources. We got that's a lot of pumas. We got this is a rare Octipuma, a very rare subspecies of the puma infantry fighting vehicle. As you can see, this one has a genetic mutation, meaning it has 8 cannons simultaneously, meaning it has 8 times the firepower. A very
Stealth enemy unit
rare
detected.
species. And Terminator's trying to fight off his force, but the Spectra's just shooting at long range as the automatics just take the brunt of the damage, making it quite hard to really deal with. We got depleted uranium rounds and a grenadiers from Optical, putting on a nice bit of pressure. Damn, these pumas are still just stuck together. This is so fun. This is so funky looking. I love it. Too bad this isn't actually a real unit. Imagine just moving up like an infantry fighting vehicle, and you just have 8 30mm autocannons going off. That's like 3 times 8. 24. That's like 240mm of kick ass. We got 3 Spectra tanks. It seems like he's splitting up his force a wee bit. Oh no, he's going to be getting him back together, yo. Some super hinds. And did this thing get blown up, or is it just bugged? It's bugged. Yeah, it's a weird bug for some of the cartel factions I've seen on this replay. The buildings, yeah, you can tell because it has the outline, but it's not there at the same time. Pretty spooky stuff, eh? I mean, now I can't even see the vehicle bay. I think it's something to do with stealth, stealthing up the building. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions, but we can live without it. No cartel thing. It's about stealth and being sneaky peeky. They move up the autos and the Spectras together. But we do have quite a nice Terminator force here from Optical. ATGMs and whatnot being brought out. Puma's given some long-range AT support as well. And this is weird, that's a lot of grenadiers. That's a lot of grenadiers. People usually just don't get grenadiers as Chimera, but damn. I think he got the no line of sight upgrade at that exact moment and he started shooting. But that's kind of a good idea, because the Ottos are great at killing infantry. I don't know about the Spectras. These guys, they have a whopping 18 HP. Which I think is the most I've seen out of any infantry unit. I mean, the Exos have 15. It's because they have those EOD shoots on. And now it just got a standoff between the Otto Spectra Force and the Grenadier Terminator Puma Force. Now, Optical, he does have the ATGM advantage, so he can shoot at long range with missiles.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Aurora Marines does have those nice railgun tanks. Now, does he have Heinz still? Does he have Heinz? Got an artillery turret overhead. Don't know for what reason. Probably just for close range protection. Yeah, it's most likely it. And there we go. Yeah, quite a bit of Spectras. This is all going to come down to which army runs this big fight, because this is pretty much your all or nothing army right here. Even got a few metal storms, which you never see. It's the first time I've actually seen metal storms in a replay. Very funky unit. You can make it so they auto repair, but they do have lower HP. I actually forgot what metal storms even do. I believe they're just shoot grenades out of cannon. I'm gonna speed this up. I just want to see, really wanted to see this big force engage and she's gonna win. Warrior Runes going around the side. No, we gotta pause this. I just want to take a second. That's a lot of traitors, that's a lot of missiles, and that's a lot of smoke. Let's see what's going to go on. Oh, that's going to slow us down to 0.5 so we can see what the hell's going on. Okay, we got cluster bombs. Cluster bombs from what though? Oh, that's the Amos firing, that's not clusters, that's just a lot of mortar rounds going off. But he did miss the grenadiers. The Amos being the first firing artillery unit, and as you can see, they really pepper the ground. They must have a cluster bomb upgrade, because that's a lot of ground peppering. I mean, it almost looks like a ronky golf course with all these craters being a hose. And Amos is definitely a smart idea to deal with the infantry. But I'm thinking, if they do have a cluster upgrade, the cluster rounds don't do damage to infantry, so you have to just kill the tanks. Now we've just got both armies warring up. And like I said, it's just going to be down to one big battle. Oh, here we go. Now we can see for real if they shoot clusters. Yep, those are clusters. And as you can see, clusters don't do any damage to infantry, or hardly any. They do a bit of damage to the tanks, knocking out one, but they are being repaired by their repair outposts. They are nearby it. It does have that extended range upgrade. So the artillery ain't going to be doing too much. And there we go once again. I have to admit, that's just beautiful. That is just beautiful. 16 fireworks go off on the 4th of July. There we go, another batch.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
I think it's just firing and run out of time. Not all at once. But jeez, almost looks like Mars. So many goddamn craters. There we go, once again, no, they're all firing at the same time. Oh, that's scary. That is just scary. Not doing much damage. I mean, look, this one pilot just sitting there like a champ.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
But that's just scary, the sounds they make. Got a metal stormers moving up to no avail. Made good use of artillery. Forced an optical to fall back a bit. And here we go. There's 2 minutes left. It's probably going to be the engagement. It has to be the engagement. Here we go. Grenadiers shooting at long range. I'm going to slow this down so we can just take in the beauty of it all. Grenadiers engaging at long range. They can shoot through buildings without no line of sight upgrade. Terminators are moving up. The Spectras are getting their ambush modifier. And people are shooting things. Can't really tell what's going on. The Grenadiers are doing a bit of damage. They don't do much damage, but it's just constant fire. And the Terminators are going down. Same with the refinery. Slowing this down even further. Now we're going into Matrix mode, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we can slow it down to... Oh yeah, we can slow it down to 0.25. I see the automatics shooting down the missiles to do that upgrade. Which is pretty much made them win this engagement, I guess. Just look at that. You even have a little particle effect when their missiles get blown up. Okay, let's turn it back to normal. There's still some Pumas in the back,
Stealth enemy unit detected.
but the Ottos can just shoot down the missiles. Gonna be trying to get in the building to hold off for one last stand.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
And I can't really tell what's going on. It's so many bloody particle effects of railguns and missile tracers. And what the hell is that?
Detected.
That's a... Oh, that's the napalm bomber. There we go. Bit of napalm for my morning afternoon. Doesn't make sense. But a good match there. Warrior Runes taking in the victory. It's been very aggressive in the early game. Sorry, I'm stretching. Oh. And it is a very deadly force. The automatics are good for shooting down missiles once you get upgrades, shooting down aircraft. And then the Spectras in the back line, they can just, peek out, shoot a railgun shot, then cloak back up. And that's what really won that last engagement. Being able to shoot down the long-range missiles made the Pumas pretty much ineffective, while the Spectras could clean up the Terminators. And the Grenadiers, I couldn't really see how effective they were. They were putting off a lot of rounds down range, and, they're bound to shoot through buildings. But were they doing much damage? Could they maybe replace them with more Terminators, or Exo-Soldiers, or something? I don't know. That was just a very good army composition from Warrior Runes. I don't know how you'd really deal with that. Because you got automatics shooting down missiles and airplanes and helicopters, and the Spectres just rape up the ground forces. I think what you need is a nuke. A good old nuke. And well, that's all I have time for. This has been another Rangrocast. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.